16 years old when I went to the war to fight for a land fit for heroes. Got on my side and a gun in my hand, chasing my days down to zero. And I marched and I fought and I bled and I died, and I never did get any older. But I knew at the time that the year in the line is long enough life for a soldier. We all volunteered and we wrote down our names, and we added 2 years to our ages. Eager for life and ahead of the game, ready for history's pages. And we brawled and we fought and we hoard till we stood 10,000 shoulder to shoulder. A thirst for the hunt, we were food for the gun, and that's what you are when you're soldiers. I heard my friend cry and he sank to his knees, cutting blood as he screamed for his mother. And I fell by his side, and that's how we died, clinging like kids to each other. And I lay in the mud and the guts and the blood, and I wept as his body grew colder. And I called for my mother, and she never came, though it wasn't my fault, I wasn't to blame. The day's not half over and 10,000 slain, and now there's nobody remembers our names. And that's how it is for a soldier.
Hear the measured beat of Ulstermen marching through the green fields and streets of the towns, called up to arms by bold Edward Carson to stand for the red hand and crown. These were the seed of mighty Cuchulainn, these were the sons of Congal Clean, determined that Gael and Rome should not rule them, and England if need be withstand. Those were the days of Ulster's defiance, those were the days of passion and strife, those were the days when England denied us and Ulster stood for her life. The call came for war and the volunteers answered. The 36th was formed in 1914 to fight the German Kaiser instead of faithless England, to maintain their birthright and king. They marched into hell nearly 2 years onward, the first day of July, on a bright and summer morn. Aloft against blue sky they bore the Ulster standard down the bloody road to the Somme. These were the men of Tyrone, Londonderry, Monaghan and Cavan, down in Donegal, the men of Armagh, of Antrim and Fermanagh, who walked the bloody road to the Somme. They faced the deadly hail from cannons and machine guns, through the bursting shells in hell of no man's land. Triumphantly they yelled the cry of no surrender, and fought the Kaiser's troops hand to hand. 3 miles they struck through enemy defences in the greatest charge of that European war. Like a mighty wave they swamped the German trenches, over fallen dead and barbed wire. Then they were cut off with no one to support them. They were mown down by fire from three sides. Bravely they fell like leaves in the autumn. Death reaped the bitter harvest of their lives. When the battle ceased, a young man was heard crying, bleeding from a wound where the bullet creased his head. There amid the maim, the pleading and the dying, he held the broken body of his friend. As the red sunset smoke drifted o'er the trenches, dazed, bewildered men trudged back along the way. The carnage, it was great, the slaughter, it was senseless. 5,000 Ulster sons fell that day. Here was a time of mourning and of sorrow. All along the line they gathered up their dead. Here was a time of yearning for the morrow. Here was a time when Ulster bled. The land was filled with grief when news broke of the slaughter. Like heavy clouds, it hung o'er Cruithne's brow. The telegrams, they came to mothers, wives and daughters, and like warm falling rain, the tears poured down. We count the bloody cost they paid for Ulster's freedom. We cherish memories of those who died so young. With passing of the years, we will not forget them who walked the bloody road to the Somme. As long as earth revolves upon its axis turning, when day sleeps in the dark and wakens with the dawn, as long as sun goes down and rises in the morning, we will remember the Somme. We will remember the Somme. We will remember the Somme.
And cue the Hero Hero track.
On the morning of July 1st, 1916, the barrage of the German lines had been going on for 6 days. The Great Push, as it was to be called, would be the largest Allied offensive by the volunteer armies to date. Over 50,000 men would lose their lives on this one day. 9 brave souls will be honoured and remembered for gallantry. Of these 9, our story focuses on the division which came from our shores, the 36th Ulster Division. The Ulster Division was filled with faith and brotherhood of man. Most of the men were brothers, fathers, sons and neighbours. Young Billy McFadden would be the first Victoria Cross winner of the Somme campaign. Billy was widely known to be a bit of an entertainer and an avid boxer.
You people at home make me quite proud when you tell me I'm a soldier boy of the McFaddens. I hope to play the game, and if I don't add much lustre to it, I certainly will not tarnish it.
Robert Quigg was a Bushmills man with a finely combed moustache of considerable length. He was Batman to McNaughton. Sir Harry became an officer in the British Army without any previous experience. So Quigg had signed up to be his Batman, as he was an experienced soldier by comparison. Quigg had gave his word to Sir Harry's mother that he would look out for a boy. Sir Harry had most recently lost his father, and it is speculated that Robert Craig became a mentor and role model for him.
Sir Harry, I think it's important I'm by your side for a great push.
Come on, Robert. What is Sir Harry nonsense?
Listen, can you take my word of advice?
Robert, I can't keep putting my neck on the line for you.
Captain Eric Bell was another man to be awarded the highest military honour. He was 20 years old, a temporary captain in the 9th Battalion, Royal Irish Fusiliers, attached to a light trench mortar battery.
Ben, you have been sent to the trench mortar battery. Some of you may think you are being rejected from the infantry, but I assure you, under my command, we will show the people of Ireland we are as courageous and brave as any man on this front line. I hope you have faith in your heart and a gun in your hand.
Cather was born in West London and went to serve as a 25-year-old lieutenant in the 9th Battalion Royal Irish Fusiliers. It was said that he was a man of great intelligence and had a softer spot for the ailments and troubles of the trench life of the infantry soldiers.
Told you lot, keep up with the whale oil. Trench foot can be prevented by keeping the feet clean, warm and dry. Each of you in charge of your partner's feet. You will make sure his feet stay in condition, and he in return will look after yours.
It was noted by the officers that the men of the Ulster Division were rarely seen without a Bible in their hands. This was a practice they brought from their daily lives. I would also think it is essential to point out the support and courage provided by the women back home in Ulster, as well as the women in the nursing corps. Many of them trained in proficiency in first aid in Ulster during the Home Rule crisis and offered their services to the King, and went on to join the Red Cross. Their contributions so great that they founded a hospital in France near Lyon. As that morning of July broke, some men had remembered the significance of the date. This date, they would go into battle like many of their forefathers did back in 1690. In the Battle of the Boyne. Speculation suggests that some of them even wore their orange sashes. This isn't beyond belief, as we know for certain that the Ulster Division had Orange Lodge meetings regularly. And when we think how committed they were to their faith, I think it's safe to say they were committed to their culture too. During the Great Barrage, many soldiers read verses from their Bibles and said the Lord's Prayer.
Thy kingdom come, thine will be done on earth as it is in heaven.
Further through Thiepval Wood, an unknown soldier had been tasked with cutting the cords in the grenade boxes. He had made his way through the trenches, cutting the cords to make it easier to get to the grenades. But not every soldier was made aware this was being done. Young Billy McFadden reached for his box and 2 grenades rolled down into the trench. Realising the danger to his friends in the trench, Billy bravely threw himself on top of the grenades had succeeded in saving many of his comrades in the 14th Royal Irish Rifles. Only one other man was injured. Billy paid the supreme sacrifice.
Let me tell you a story of honor and glory. I'm a young Belfast soldier, Billy McFadgen by name. For king and for country, young Billy died bravely in one levee scene on the field of the Somme. Gone like the snowflake that melts on the river, gone like the first rays of day's early dawn, like the foam from the fountain, like the mist on the mountain. Young Billy McFadgen's dear life has gone. Now Billy lies lonely with a red flag to poppies in wildest profusion. Paint the field of the brave, no piper recalling his deeds are forgotten. For Billy McFadgen has known no grave.
For most conspicuous bravery at Hamel, France, on the 1st of July 1960. He advanced to assault with his platoon 3 times. Early next morning, hearing a rumour that his platoon officer was lying out wounded, he went out 7 times to look for him, under heavy shell and machine gun fire, each time bringing back a wounded man. The last man he dragged in on a waterproof sheet from within yards of the enemy's wire. He was 7 hours engaged in this most gallant work, and finally was so exhausted that he had to give it up.
I have to help my men. They get slaughtered out there.
Have you seen Sir Howard MacNaughton? Have you seen Sir Howard MacNaughton of the Black Watch? I'm coming, hold on! Get him medical, he needs help!
I'm going to get you back to safety.
meeden in de kalkalderen, where folk many men have gone, where folk many men have gone.
I am not an Ulsterman, but yesterday I followed the amazing attack. I felt I would rather be an Ulsterman than anything else in the world.
Many a lass was left at home, and many a mother cried for a father they would see no more, or a brother who had died, for a boyfriend who they loved so dear, or a friend with whom they grew, of an empty chair beside the fire, or a church an empty pew. But their names will live forevermore, as it was their finest hour. Their memories grow like the poppies red in the fields round Ulster's Tower. They did their duty to a man, fulfilled a glorious vision. Pay homage to the men who fought in the 36th Division. It is great to see that we have such a turnout today to celebrate these men and women's lives. For what they sacrificed, we shall remember them. The Somme campaign lasted until mid-November, and indeed the war would last another 2 years more, with many more sacrifices and many more lives lost, from every corner of the British Empire, from all the Allied troops around the world, and indeed even the enemy troops. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them. We will remember them. Private Billy McFadden, Private Robert Quigg, Second Lieutenant Geoffrey Cather, Captain Eric Bell. God save the Queen.
One, two. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, and I hope you remember what today's about. So remembering the sacrifice. And thank you very much. Hope you all enjoyed.
Let's go.